think we're just waiting for Ken.
He's in.
Oh, he is, oh, sorry. Oh, whenever you're ready, Ken.
John gonna make it?
No, he's got, he was here for the earlier meeting for energy, but he had another standing meeting at 1 o'clock on Thursday.
See my nice smile, Emily?
Oh, yeah, you got your pearly lights and everything.
Kent, are you in town or out in Colorado?
No, I'm in town.
I think we have everybody that's gonna be here.
Okay, well, let's call the Building and Grounds Committee.
Recording in progress.
Order. Let's call the Building and Grounds Committee to order. I'm gonna turn over to Dave.
Okay. You want to start with the remediation update or? Okay. So right now, we've had to go to some 5th and even 6th regrinds on some of the squares to get down to where we're at. We've done some retesting, some of those have passed. We're still waiting for some test results on the others. So I mean, again, some of those squares, the first pass that, first or second pass, they passed. We're down where others were based on the level still, flying above that 1 part per million. So we're waiting on results for 43 10 by 10 foot squares to see where they fall. We're hoping either between regrinding or in some cases, if they don't pass, they're limiting us to going down. A 6 regrind on those squares is, as far as we can go structurally. If they still don't pass, then we have to look at either retesting to find other test site in that area that passes, or we remove that section of cement in those squares. So hopefully most of those will pass on the test that we're waiting for right now. So we're with additional regrinding, which is more than we anticipated. We are going to we're probably nearing that 2.3 million limit the board has set yet. But that's also involved additional testing. So we'll get some numbers and we may need to go up with another 100,000 on that. We'll see, or not quite, hopefully. But they're hoping, we talked to Purcell this morning, that hopefully we can get everything wrapped up by tomorrow or Monday at the latest, start getting everything cleaned out of there, get the PCB team out of there to the point where we can hopefully, if all goes well, start pouring cement that the 27th, that coming back after Christmas there. And because we have our absolute drop dead date for getting cement is going to be that first week of January, before Watertown Concrete stops producing cement. So if we can get things started by 27th, we should be in shape. A lot of it's going to be determined. I don't have an answer for you yet on how the test results come out in those squares that we're waiting on right now. If we don't get that done and get that cement poured by that first week of January, then we have to look at an alternative type of treatment, because they're looking at kind of and Rob, you understand this better than I do, some type of leveling compound that would kind of cap over and bond to and level off the floor, where it's all been, where it's been scraped and such. And,
No, that's true. I do have a question. Is this, I can't remember, is this demolition, is this a firm price contract or is this, does it keep growing every time we grind?
no, so it was a set price contract with allowances in there for additional grinding. If we had not utilized, if we had not done all that full grinding, we actually would have been credited and paid less than quoted. As it is, we've actually exceeded the allowance for some of that regrinding because of the, the way the PCBs has kind of migrated throughout the cement floor and having higher concentrations and having to do additional regrinds to get down to where they would pass. So yeah, so it was a set price contract with allowances, but now we're basically working on change orders to do the additional grindings. So we'll have more for you as soon as we get those results and know what's going on.
Do you have an idea how long till we'll know whether those, how long till those results will be back?
So he's got some, well, they were done yesterday, hopefully by Friday. Because they were going to hopefully do a turnaround. I think they're going to be driving them to Albany to get, so they can expedite the testing. So I say tomorrow or Monday.
And they should go to Massachusetts. They're going out to Phoenix lab.
I'm not sure they've been using different labs.
Oh, have they?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought, Brad, that they were going to, Mike, when we talked to Purcell this morning, he said when they talked to Paradigm yesterday, they're going to be driving to Albany. Is that what he said? For there's a lab down there. I'm not sure if that's their own lab or if that's another lab that they're working with.
Get around there.
Okay.
It's possible that we could get all 43 cleared today. They usually get the results around 5 o'clock, 4 or 5 o'clock. But I think that's probably unlikely.
Oh, 43 what?
43 squares, so what they've done, you've got 77,000 square foot building, and we've divided basically squares of 10 by 10 feet. And so what we do is when you scarify, you remove a layer and you test it, and if it doesn't pass, you scarify it again and test it. We have each 10 foot by 10 foot square has to pass as 1 part per million or lower for it to pass. If it passes, then we can move on. If it doesn't pass, we have to take off another layer. But there's only, get down to, there's only so many layers we can go down with, so.
Thank you.
And because the contamination wasn't consistent, in some places, the first layer took care of it, in others we had to go down 2 or 3, in other cases 4 or 5, so.
Well, we should know by Monday at the latest.
Merry Christmas.
That link that Brad sent me, does that still work? Or
It
does he
should,
send
it
me
should,
the one
it
each
should,
time?
I think it should link it.
Okay.
If not, let me know, we'll get you a new one.
Yeah, I'll take a look at those.
Okey-dokey.
Ground lease?
Yep.
So the current ground lease we have, the Y, expires January 13th. Obviously, we're still doing remediation, stuff like that, so we're gonna need to amend that, extend it. So while we look at, I think what we're proposing is while we look at terms for renewing the longer term ground lease for the project, we're proposing, you've got in your packet, a second amendment, which just kind of gives us till mid-February. That would give us enough time. Hopefully, if not, we can go another month if you think, but I'm thinking kind of we can get the building and grounds talking about what they'd like to see and recommend to the board for anything to be modified, changed, or added to the ground lease, the longer term ground lease. The short term one just basically sends the current one as is for another month and gives us time to come back and bring something to the board and negotiate something with the Y.
Do we know where they are in their due diligence outside of the issues with us doing the remediation?
Yep, I mean, they're still working with the architects, engineers on finalizing design and costs and such like that, kind of going through reviewing element by element to get that detail taken care of, so. But they're probably, I mean, I'm guessing, they're probably not gonna have that done before February or March.
This is gonna have to go to the full board for approval, correct?
Yes, yeah, so if you're comfortable with this agreement, at least the short-term one as is, or you have any thoughts on it, on your recommendation, we bring it to the board at the January 6th board meeting for board approval.
I make a motion, we send it to the full board.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
And I think, based on other discussions between now and then, if we decide by then, you can always modify it if you want to recommend to the board that we extend it another month. But hopefully, I think that February will give us, between now and the February board meeting, time to come up with what we want to do with this longer term agreement. So can I guess,
When you talk to
go ahead.
When you talked to Dave with Purcell about pouring the concrete companies for an order of that size wouldn't stay open a couple extra days if they needed to?
Well, they are staying open because of the weather's been, because of weather, there's been a lot of construction going on, a lot of demand for concrete. I don't know if our project alone is, they've talked about this specific project and they said the latest is gonna be open in January. So I don't know if maybe our project is not large enough to keep them open longer if needed.
Well, they certainly can, but they might have to charge a premium to keep that plant open, and who knows what that cost would look like.
Right.
Let's assume that it's gonna take longer on those 40, let's say 20 of those squares. Can you pour the rest of the floor without those, or do you have to do it all at once?
I think you've got to pour it all at once, so it all levels and such, they'll prepare it, for bonding agents and then pour it.
Any other concerns for anybody? Anything else, Vicky?
Oh, yeah, I guess you might want to consider going to an executive session to discuss the potential sale or disposition and acquisition of real property.
Can I go to the executive session, Dave?
Pardon?
I didn't hear what you said.
Oh, I'm sorry. I suggest that we go into executive session to discuss the
Yeah.
potential disposition or sale or acquisition of real property.
I got a motion. I got a motion to go into executive session.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. In executive session now, Dave.
Head up.
That'll be me, huh?